pushed me against the wall and I pushed back. Took a little fall, but I bounced back. When I thought I lost it, went and got it back. Now them haters plotting cause the press.
See, I've been doing this for so long, doing this for some time now. It's time for me to get on, time to get on my grind now. Been doing this for so long, doing this for some time now. It's time for me to get on, it's time for me to get on. Now that I got my point through, shit, I'ma tell you straight like this, nigga, you don't wanna be the one I point to. Niggas that kill for a flow like this, and I'm running them in and out of the Pro Tools, giving them everything that I'm supposed to, wondering how it's did the boy do. God damn it, that boy smooth. Then I called him.
You're here with Ganem the Poet for Ghetto Geek TV. I'm here with my man Prince Rich.
Sir.
What's up, brother, man?
Cool, brother.
Oh yeah. So what was the first time you ever heard, saw anything to do with hip hop?
It was when I was younger. You know, my older brother, he's like 12 years older than me. So, you know, he would have all the CDs. So I grew up listening to the old, you know, Wu-Tang and Biggie. You know, he would have all those CDs laying around. So,
yeah.
You know, when he wasn't around, you know, basically it was more so tapes around that time.
Yeah.
But I'd grab them, listen to him. He used to record over
Maxwell tapes.
Yeah, over the Maxwell tapes. He used to do his rapping. So I used to just sit there and watch him, you know, and that's pretty much where it started. You know, young, 5 years old, 6 years old.
Yeah. Do you remember some of the artists on the tapes that he had?
No.
No.
I don't remember. But I started writing myself around age 8.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd listen to music. How I actually really started doing it was I would listen to certain songs and I would write down the lyrics. You know, I'd listen to it, pause it, write down the lyrics. And that's how I learned how to write bars.
Yeah.
And you know, format songs. Yeah, self-taught.
That's dope.
So I took that and eventually started writing my own rhymes.
Yeah.
And here we are, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So who were some of the influences when you were growing up?
Pretty much Biggie was major for me.
Yeah, kidding.
Even as listening to him, I remember listening to that I'm going back to Cali joint. They used to be crazy on the radio, and you know, this is like '97. You know what I mean? Like '97, '98. You know, I'm 8 years old still, and I was just blown away.
Oh, yeah.
Tupac, you know, it's everyone, man. Huge Method Man fan. Huge, even going into like the 2000s, you know, 50 Cent was major, T.I., Eminem. That's when I started to go into my own, you know, personality as far as writing and creating my own style, early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, man, music crazy.
The Biggie joint, compared to young little Biggie there.
Yeah.
I know the comparison. I hear it myself. I hear it myself, and I know some other people. You know what I mean? To put that title on you. What's how do you feel to be compared to such a legend?
Crazy. That's, you know, I understand it, but you know, it can't. You know, it don't sink in. I'm like, yo, that's major, but that's dope. I'm gonna do my best to keep that up and uphold that title.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's dope. So we had a question, right? We've been asking to a couple people. What would you ever do if like one of your idols dissed you?
Oh man, you gotta.
How would you take it?
This is the name of the game, right? So, whenever you're learning something, the student eventually has to become the teacher.
Exactly.
One day. So it's like one of your idols come at you, especially in the music business. You gotta handle your business, because now at that point, once you make it to that point, you're your own.
Yeah,
he's your idol, but he's also your competition. If he's still, you know, in the game or whatever. So you gotta handle your business.
So you come right back, right?
Right.
Fire back. Shots fired.
It'll have to be like that.
Because
you're too new not to say anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, you know, when you first come in the game, it's like you gotta establish yourself to the point where I don't need to respond to them. Until you get
it's a progression.
Point, right,
it's a progression once you get out there.
But you know, it's entertainment first and foremost. So
it can't, unless you do horribly, you can't do no wrong.
Yeah. People like Jay-Z, he doesn't necessarily respond to everybody. Or he does like the little subliminal jabs.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why am I going to mention your name
Right.
and bring you up? Like, I'm up here.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
I ain't even bother with you.
Right.
It's white noise.
Right. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt is different from Jay-Z, Magna Carta.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, the difference, you can't even compare it. So, and both those albums are crazy, so. Yeah.
So how's the progression from, your first mixtape, or the mixtape you just dropped, to now? Because it was a 4-year gap, right?
It was a 4-year gap.
4-year gap.
Yeah.
Some life situations that hit you. Because I know on the Letters of the Game, you were talking about your own van, talking about Made Man.
Right.
Which is funny, everything. Thank God Benzino ain't in the,
Yeah.
after the situation that happened with him.
Right.
But, saying that, how do you look at your career right now? Picturing like the van and coming up, like, cause you're established, like you're known. People know, Prince of the City, boy.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it now. Being so young, you growing up in the projects, the van comes through, they're giving out mixtapes and posters and everything. You're like, damn, like, that's dope. Like, you can't envision that being 9, 10 years old. Like, damn, how
do I get there?
It's crazy. So, you get to a point like this to where you stick with your dream and you stick to what you want to do. And, eventually, you create avenues for yourself to where you can actually do it. And now to the point where I can actually do those things if I wanted to. And it's surreal. It's dope.
Great feeling.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Now, in that 4 years, what is it like taking a break, first off? Did you take a break, or was it like, did you create?
I stopped.
You completely
stopped for a little bit.
How was that when you completely stopped?
It's
The creative juices, because you got to get them out.
Yeah, I mean, life takes over, things happen, you start, doubt. It's a natural thing. And you're like, what else can I do? So I tried that. I had a little girl.
Birthday just passed.
Definitely.
Great
Shout out
feeling.
to my baby Raquel.
Oh, yeah. I see you.
Yeah,
I see you at the birthday party.
Yeah. She's it for me. Around the time when I knew, her mother was pregnant, I was like, at that point I was frustrated with life. You know what I mean? Like, and I knew that, that's all I wanted to do was music.
Yeah.
So it's like the type of life that I want to give her. I mean, I can work, just like we was talking about a little earlier, 80 hours a week for the next 20 years, and give her that, or I can do what I really love, which is, do that to the max, and just make sure her life is good, and that's what I really want to do. She's my inspiration to even come back and give y'all cold nights like that. It was only one way.
Yeah.
That was all her.
And that, that's another thing. Being a father myself,
right.
Like, I want to teach my son to chase your dreams, whatever that may be. Whatever my son wants to do, I'm gonna be supportive, and like to not fall into just like working constantly. To like go after something, chase something you believe in, and that you have a natural talent for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's important. You got to install that into your kids young. I had it, but I didn't have it.
Yeah.
Growing up, you know what I mean? Like it was always just me wanting to do the things I wanted to do without even having that support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my mother, she's from the island. She's straight. She's Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? She's like, go to school and do this X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to do ABC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's tough. So but she supports me now, and she's just like, you do your thing.
Oh yeah.
How is the birth of your daughter change your music?
It's crazy because it gives me first off, the birth of my daughter gives me happiness. I think the music before I was doing this, it's a little dark, it's a little more painful. Now I'm to the point where I'm good with life, and I can change my music and actually have an upbeat, whether it's a song or even my conversations are different. Just live your life, do your thing, go hard, and it affected it in the best way possible for me.
What about the songs you make about females?
Yeah.
You change up a little bit now that you have a little one.
Here's the thing, right? That's tough for me, but women are gonna be women.
Yeah.
And what raising a little girl, you can only do your best, you know, to try to raise her not, you know, to be
the right
some
way.
of the women that are out there.
Yeah.
So it's like they're still gonna be there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still gonna make, you know, still gonna make my little songs. You know, men are still gonna, you know, feel a certain way towards women. Women are still, you know what I mean? There's still gonna be all types of
cycle of life.
It's a cycle of life. All you can do is try your best to make sure she don't end up like that or follow the same paths or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, treat her how to respect herself. You know, how to go for someone that, you know, shows her the real love. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's all I'm here for. You know?
Well, you know, they say sons marry their mothers, daughters marry their fathers.
Right.
So you gotta be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Little daddy moment. Share a little
moment,
daddy.
right, little father moment.
So we'll bring it back to music. Tell me what your first experience was in the studio. Like your very first time.
My very first time, I was like 16 years old, and I can't even remember the name of the song, but I do remember it was a song of me. I was rapping fast.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. I didn't know how to record. You know what I mean? It was, the levels were crazy. It was a professional studio, but I didn't know how to record, and that's what made it hard.
Yeah.
And you know, at the time, I'm pretty sure the engineer was just like, I'm just
keep moving.
Get my bread.
Yeah, let me get the money.
Right.
You can come in, do your thing. See you later.
See you
I'm gonna
later.
collect it.
But it was once the record was done, I was hooked.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, I gotta come back. And once I did start to get a little better, you know, shout out to G Spin. At the time, he's still at Jamie 94.5, but he gave me my first shot on the radio.
Was that with Legend of the Game, or was
that was a song on like my very first project called What Else.
Okay.
So I was about 17 at that time. I was still in high school, and he just gave me a shot. You know what I mean? I hit him up, sent him the record. You know what I mean? And I guess, you know, he saw the potential. And
what was that like at 17 years old
on the radio?
High
crazy.
school.
Crazy. It's like next level type.
Yeah.
You know, that's better than having your first kiss or, you know, losing your virginity for a young teenage man.
That's celebrity status in high school. I be walking down the hallways like, I was on the radio. What's up?
Y'all didn't hear me last night?
You better listen to it.
Right. That's what it is. It's dope, man. You know.
And now you're like a veteran.
Yeah,
all over the airwaves, man. I'm driving in my car, hear our track playing, like.
I still have the same feeling though.
Still, hell yeah. So, and you self-taught writing.
Yeah.
What was that process like?
Long.
You have to like, you know,
nights.
is it something where like you're writing bars and you go through like obstacles and you just keep learning? Because nobody sat down.
How to write because when you first start writing, it's always going to change. You know, year after year. But even just, you know, it's crazy because a lot of rappers, a lot of artists don't know how to count bars. They don't know how to write bars. You know what I mean? And that's essential to learning how to write a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like learning the breakdowns and when the chorus comes in, or you know, a bridge or whatever else. You know what I mean? Like those are important, basic things you have to know. So you know, just me teaching myself, because that's exactly what I did. You know, I just would write down lyrics of other artists, and I would actually use the lines on a piece of paper, and for every bar,
picture it.
Right. Well, for every bar, I would use a line, and that's how I learned that 16, you know, bar verse. You know, that's how I learned. So it was a long process. Yeah. But it was.
Well, what's it like listening to your first project compared to Cold Nights?
I don't like listening to it. I don't like listening to it because it was dope. It was real dope. But I was young and still working out the kinks of what kind of artist I wanted to be.
So where do you picture yourself in 5 years?
5 years, I just want to be in a position where I'm well known for my talents and well compensated. You know what I mean? Like it's general, you know, but I want to be at the top, you know. But the way the game's looking, I don't know how that's even going to look in 5 years. It's crazy. The music's changing so much. but I want to be at the top of whatever it is going on at that time.
So what are some of the changes that you see in music?
You know, just the more you know how the game's changing into more of an independent role.
Yeah. A lot more independent artists coming out, making real noise.
Right, and working from the ground up, like really, you know, grinding from the mud, and that's crazy. That's dope. And just to know that you can take it there on your own is such inspiration. You know, because you know everybody else is doing it. It's like you put enough into it. You know, it's not gonna be easy. Just gonna be obstacles.
Nothing in life is easy, but everybody would be, you know, at the top.
Exactly.
You gotta hit those roadblocks and those obstacles and face those times where it's like I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And then fight through it.
It's gonna happen.
You know.
Right.
You're gonna become stronger from that.
Right, and if you listen to Cold Nights, you'll listen to those points where he was at the verge of quitting right there.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm open about it. Like in the music, you know what I mean. Like, and if you just listen to the rhymes, like there's a story there. There's pain, there's happiness, there's you know what I mean. There's struggle. You know what I mean. Like it's all in there. And
you're a very talented storyteller.
Thank you.
Who are some of who are your favorite storytellers in music?
Favorite.
That like paint a picture, because you paint a picture.
I try
where
to.
Like some people, not saying that you can't drop bars, like you definitely articulate stories well.
Yeah.
Where like some people dumb out on bars, but then there's like cats that can just like they paint it vivid.
Right.
You can see exactly what's going on.
Right. I mean, I can't lie. Like the artist I got that from that was the illest to me was Biggie when he come out with. I mean, that's all he did was tell stories in his joints. Like at the point where I was growing up and what I was paying attention to at the time.
Yeah.
You know, other artists did it well. Other artists did it crazy, like Eminem.
Yep.
Like when he first came out, amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way you were just there, like you were there in his trailer park with him or wherever he was living, writing his rhymes. It's crazy. You know
the suicide letter from Biggie, like
suicide letter from Biggie, you were right there, like
you're with these cats.
Exactly.
It's dope.
Exactly. So I mean, I try to emulate the same feeling that they gave you. You know, not necessarily what they did, but the feeling that they gave you. Of you just being there, and that's dope to me.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm naturally a deep thinker. I'm a worrywart. I'm everything under the above. You know, I'm
sure the best writers.
Right.
Best writers come from like the extremes of like overconfidence, insecurity, anger, pain.
Right.
And and then you show the whole picture. You wrap it all up into one. People love that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It shows that you're a human being, and that's what people can relate to. Yeah. Because everybody goes through it, but not everybody knows how to explain it or put it in a song or whatever. And that's what you
gotta show different sides. You can't just be like, I'm out in the trap.
Yeah.
I'm out at the club.
Yeah.
Like that shit's gonna get played out.
Right. It's quick.
Yeah.
Those people don't last.
You need the different things. What goes into picking like a radio track off your album, off your mixtape? Like, do you go ahead of time, like you hear the beat and you're like, yo, this is a radio banger? Or is it like you wait till after you look at your body of work?
Right. I wait until the song's done. Depending on how the joint came out, I'll be able to determine like, all right, this is what I want to send to the radio. This is what I need the streets to be on. Or I want to do a video to this. I never really know it right offhand what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I try to challenge myself as much as possible, because even like a lot of the beats that I get, shout out to D Spells, he produced a lot of the records on Cold Nights. When he gives them to me originally, they never stay like that.
So you tweak it?
Right, we always tweak something, like, and he'll get aggravated sometimes, like, yo, just do it the way how I made
Perfectionist.
it. But after, I'm too like into it, not the.
Well, when we talked about it, you even had the beat to MOP. To whatever the song is, like you knew the exact melody, tempo, and everything. So like you can tell, music's running through you.
Yeah.
Alright. What's the legacy you want to leave when you're gone?
That's crazy. I just want to be known as one of the best that ever did it. Like, aside from anything else, like the business, of course, we're in this to make money and everything else. But as long as I'm known as one of the dopest, and whatever category you feel like I'm in, That's all I
That's all
want.
matters.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the greatest? Top 5.
Top 5? No particular order. Most definitely Eminem.
Oh, they said most deaf.
Most definitely. Jay-Z, Nas, Big, and Pop. I mean, you can't, that's my top 5.
Yeah.
Top 10 it'd be a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think, like T.I., Ross, who else would be in there? As far as lyrics, Ludacris. But I got 2 more.
Yeah.
50 Cent. I think he's gonna go down in history. He has to. And I say the last one, as far as lyrics, like Jadakiss. You know what I mean? Like,
Who was the most recent addition to your top 10? So those 10 people who just cracked the list. And who did they replace?
I mean, this like the list can go on and on. Like, I think honestly with the newer artists, I believe like Drake and Wale are gonna go down in history if they keep going. Their talent is crazy. Their songwriting is dope. Like everything about them is crazy. J. Cole, like the new wave of artists, it's giving new light to hip hop. You know what I mean? J. Cole, Kendrick, that whole new, even like Big Sean. Like a lot of people don't like Big Sean, but I like Big Sean.
I think he has the girliest voice.
I mean,
his voice
there's
is terrible.
There's different. There's different.
He got like I like certain things from him. Like if I could replace his voice with somebody else, like I'm telling you, it would sound much better.
Yeah.
But like the concepts, I forget. There's one track that I rock with heavy from him.
Yo, the dude's ill to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like his last mixtape, Detroit, was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I rock with him. I rock with him.
I heard. Yo, Papoose taught him a new one on one of his disses. Yo, I'm gonna send you the track, and he just goes in for like 3 minutes straight, nothing.
Yeah.
I just dissing Big Sean, talking about how he's a girl.
I can only imagine. Papoose is one of those artists, those hardcore New York artists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That never quite got where he wanted or needed to be, but always been
still doing it though.
You know what I mean? Always been ill.
Lyricist.
So,
who's your dream collab?
my dream collab.
Any singer, any rapper, any beat maker?
Right now, my dream collab would be, at this moment, would be with Jay-Z.
Jay?
Yeah.
Who on the beat? Who's on the beat?
D Spells on the track.
Yeah.
Spells on that track.
That hometown love.
Yeah, you already know.
Oh yeah. Or then what would the track be about?
Man, I don't know. That's interesting. That's I'd have to go like extra lyrical with Jay. Like we'd have to take it back to like Reasonable Doubt and do something crazy. I don't really want to do like anything mainstream or clubby with Jay-Z. Like we get on the track with Jay, we gotta be like, alright,
back to the hood.
let's rock out, like for real. And that would be crazy to me.
So looking at Jay-Z where he's at now, where he came from, tell me what that means to you.
It's possible.
Yeah.
His story is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, if you know anything about Jay and where he comes from and his struggles, and even with his backing, as a younger artist with like mainstream artists, the game, even with all of that, the game turned its back on him. They didn't want him.
Yeah.
And the way how he came up and just kicked the door down.
Yeah.
And it was like, alright, I'm gonna do this.
Y'all gonna
anyway,
hear me.
with or without you. I'm gonna do this. It's crazy.
Crazy.
One of the biggest independent movements ever. It was crazy.
Oh yeah. So what you got? Just talk a little bit about Cold Nights. I know we can talk about some other things, but you got a new project that's out.
Cold Nights, yep. I got 12 tracks on there. featuring you, Matt Ganem the Poet. You can get that on datpiff.com. Prince Rich Cold Nights, it'll pop right up. It's crazy. I got D Spells. He did most of the joints on that project. Maybe like 7 out of 12. I got Winter on there. A young artist by the name of Celeste Simpson is on there. I got my man Last Days on there. My brother Kos.
My man.
Yes, sir.
Big shout out.
Yes, sir. Huge.
First off, I remember him in the studio thinking the track that we did was crazy.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Hell yeah. Good time. He was like, yo, I rock with this right here. It's fire.
Yeah. The way that track came about was insane. You know what I mean? I saw you at Club Church, you know, doing a piece. You actually did 3 pieces. And I was like blown away. Like, as soon as you got off stage, I don't even think I gave you room to breathe.
Nope. Came
like,
right out like, yo, we're doing a track. I'm like, alright, let's rock.
You're probably like, another Boston rapper. Well, we'll see what's up. You know what I mean? But I'm glad you came through.
Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah.
You know, and we got to do it again.
Definitely,
you know,
definitely.
It's going to be crazy.
Hell yeah. Well, we're going to close this out with a Hot 16. This is Matt Ganem the Poet for Ghetto Geek TV.
Pause the beat a minute. Get a high off the competition. When it come to composition, I'ma beat a minute. Yep, I'ma need a minute. It's probable validation follows proper evaluation. I exceed the limit. You see, my shoes is something you ain't got the size for. These are type of lyrics that society cries for. Analytically, I'm a motherfucking rhyme whore. Kill it like Willis on a beat I die hard for. You see, I do this as a better means. I need a better scene, my nigga. Nothing is as it ever seems. These silly Rams see big cars and bright lights, but to me I see big scars and night fights. It's where the vulnerable get abused, and even if you're strong, it's inevitable that you get a bruise. So fuck a team, I had to try alone. So when that paper come, these niggas won't be able to buy a loan.
Brighter than a summa cum laude. You probably never seen nobody in years like me, but who's counting? Oh yeah, them niggas sitting wishing I was slipping fall. Then there was ditches where I wish that I could stick them all. Short big guitar, I can bet you I'm not the one to see. Might be the man of them other niggas, but not to me. A pot to pee is something I could tell you sit on, but so close to the ground make you easier to shit on. Get on me, my level that's on 3, sky level that's on G. Usually charged for you, it's all free. Yeah, baby mama told me beat her to the skull and bone. If she don't want them, the reason you gotta settle home. I come alone, don't need nobody to stand watch. I got a 40 who's working around the damn clock. That 10 rock, what you hearing through the speaker. Hear them running their mouths, them niggas couldn't be weak.